Hey guys, what's going on? It's Kyger1324 up here today with part 3 of the PS2 collection. More games here, a lot more games in this part, so I'm gonna try not to keep this intro nice and short and just get straight down to business. So up first we have Devil Kings. I don't know a lot about this game other than it's a sort of Capcom's answer to Dynasty Warriors. So if that's the case, it could be a pretty fun game. I've heard good things about this game, and I believe that character right there is in another game somewhere. I can't remember what game it was. And then we have a pretty cool series here, the Destroy All Humans series. These games were a novelty back in the day. These were funny games. As for the gameplay's enjoyable, but by today's standards, these games aren't nothing special, but back in the day, these were a lot of fun, and it's a shame that they haven't brought them back, because they were fun, mainly because Ps2 is long gone, almost. And then we have a Delta Force, a Black Hawk Down, Team Saber, another sort of a first-person strategic shooter, or tactical shooter, might I say. Don't know a lot about these series, but it's an Ubisoft game. And Ubisoft used to make awesome games. They still do, but how they handle them is, you know, it's debatable. Def Jam Vendetta. You think this is a basketball game? It's not. It's a wrestling game, and it's a really fun one at that. It's sort of like an arcade game. So if you like the old wrestling games, you enjoy this one. It's really fun. Obviously, it's all based upon like rappers and stuff like that, but it's still a really good game. Then we have Deadly Strike. It looks like an anime RPG game, but it's not. It's a classic sort of 2D beat 'em up style game. So if you're fans of like Streets of Rage or something, this one's a pretty interesting one. It's alright. It's nothing special, but it's there. Then we have Dead to Rights. This is kind of like a mix between Max Payne and I don't really know what to compare it to. It's a third-person shooter, and it's a pretty fun one at that. I really like this game, these series. It's quite you get like you can command your dog called Shadow to kill people. It's an interesting series, and there's 2 on the PS2, and there was 1 on the Xbox 360 as well. And then we have one of my favourite fighting series, Dead or Alive 2. There's so many different versions of this game. The one that always comes up online is Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, but my one just says Dead or Alive 2, so unless this is Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, it's a platinum version. I don't really care so much about like what versions of the game I have. If the game's the same, it doesn't bother me. Then we have Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2, a BMX game. Nothing special here. Made by Acclaim. Acclaim used to make a lot of these sport games as well. Then we have Dark Watch, a game that I've heard good things about. It's a first-person shooter, sort of like a mix between like if you like Painkiller, Hell and Damnation, the Painkiller series. That's what it's similar to. I've heard good things about it, and it's made by High Moon Studios, who also made the Deadpool game. Then we have Dance UK, another dancing game. Nothing more to say here, but it's you know, dancing games. You need the map to play them, of course. Then we have, in my opinion, the worst PS2 game I've ever played, Demon Summoner. I can do hours upon hours of talking about why this game is a complete pile of shit. This game just disappointed me beyond belief. I thought this was going to be a, you know, semi-decent horror first-person shooter, but it's completely not worth your time. Look up some gameplay for this, because it's terrible. And we have a CSI, 3 Dimensions of Murder. Never really watched the show. I don't really have a lot of interest in the show, but it's sort of like a crime drama adventure game. I've heard these games are so. Oh, then we have a really good series, and that's the Disgaea series. I believe this is the first one, at least the first one on PS2. The Sky Hour of Darkness. These games are really good tactical-based RPGs. I played a little bit of Disgaea 3 on the PS3, and it was quite interesting. It was quite a funny game as well. It was very humorous, but got to start somewhere. So definitely have to do a playthrough on these games because they're really good. Then we have Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy 7. Yep, 7. This isn't like any other Final Fantasy game. This is a sort of Devil May Cry style fighting game. Well, not fighting game. A Devil May Cry sort of action action hack and slash third person shooter. So I've heard mixed reviews. Some people don't like this game. Some people do. Some people say it's too different from the Final Fantasy series, but I like something that tries a little bit different. You know, Final Fantasies, so many Final Fantasy games these days. And then we have Dirt Track Devils. I believe this is D3. Another sort of off-road racing game. If you're a fan of maybe MotorStorm, this could be one for you. And there's so many racing games on the PS2. I've got loads of them. So, and then we have one of my favourite series of all time, Devil May Cry. Got the first one, the second one, and the third one in special edition. And of course, the second game comes with 2 discs. One in which you play as Dante, and one is which you play as, I can't remember her name. I think it's Trish. I can't remember, but this game was fantastic, but it is a little bit flawed because of the control scheme. You can't use the automatic control scheme, which basically one button would pull your guns out if you had played it in manual. Some people prefer playing it in manual. I don't. Devil May Cry 2, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated sequels to a game. A lot of people look past this game. My older brother loves this game to pieces, and of course the third one, in my opinion, is the best Devil May Cry game ever made. And the special edition allows you to play as Virgil, and to be honest, playing as Virgil makes the game a lot easier. He is so overpowered. And of course the HD collection as well includes all 3 of those games, and they are bringing out the HD collection on Xbox One and PS4. Why they're re-bringing it out, I don't know. More money, I suppose. Next we have Dr. Dolittle, another shitty game made by Blast. I don't need to say no more. Downhill Domination, a game I've heard great things about. It's a sort of bike racing game in which you go downhill, similar to maybe Road Rage as well. I believe they are bringing out a spiritual successor to this game soon on the Xbox One and PS4, and it's going to be another like bike racing game, and it's going to, some people are saying it's the sequel to this game, unofficial sequel so to say. Then we have Dog's Life. It looks like a terrible game, and surprisingly this game is actually interesting. You play as a dog, and you get to like use their senses and things like that. I remember playing this game and thinking it was interesting. Probably not a great game by today's standards, but it's an interesting concept. Hello. And then we have Dodgeball. You know the old Super Dodgeball games. This is sort of like that. This is a fun sort of dodgeball game, fun to play with a friend, but it's very stereotypical. The characters in this are very stereotypical, so I don't know if they got in trouble for that. But it's a fun game, no, so to say. And we have Haunted Mansion, or The Haunted Mansion, another Disney title. I've never watched the Haunted Mansion all the way through. The game, I don't know if it's any good. Then we have another Disney game. We have Wall-E, another Disney film I haven't watched. The game I hear mixed reviews on. Some people like it, some people don't. And then we have one of my favourite Disney Pixar movies, Cars. The games are actually pretty decent. We have the original and Maker's International Championships. Both racing themed games. I think this one's probably the best one because it has a sort of open world, sort of has like an open world feel to it. But the Cars games, if you enjoy the movies, they're worth playing because you get to, racing. Nothing special, but they're there. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean at World End. I saw the movie, enjoyed the movie. The game is average. It's nothing special, but it's a Pirates of the Caribbean game. Then we have Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, a game that I used to love as a kid and thought was the best thing ever. Basically Tony Hawk with Disney characters and Disney World themed worlds. It's okay. I've already done a mini review on this before. It's okay, but it's a bit flawed by today's standards. We have Driver Parallel Lines. Driver's sort of gone off the radar now. I don't think we're ever going to get another Driver game, which is it's kind of an unfair thing because the Driver games were pretty good. I haven't really played Parallel Lines, but Driver 3R or Driver 3 or Drive 3R or Driv 3R as it says. I used to love this game. The free roam was so much fun. Then we have Dropship United Peace Force. I believe this was a launch title for the PS2. It's a plane, military plane game. I don't know a lot about it. So, like I said, I haven't played all of these games. So, what I don't know, I don't know. Then we have Duel Masters. I believe this was an anime or a cartoon, similar to maybe like Bakugan or Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't believe it really caught on that much because it doesn't really exist today. But the game I don't really know a lot about. And then we have Drakengard. I really enjoyed this game. It's kind of like a mix between Dynasty Warriors and Panzer Dragoon. Some parts you play on the ground, some parts you play in the sky. And this game is actually much bigger than I thought. This game is quite long, and the second one is actually quite rare. But I have seen it. Then we have Dragon's Lair 3D Special Edition. Dragon's Lair was a classic arcade game, and this is a 3D version of the game. I don't know if it comes with the original Dragon's Lair game on there. It'd be cool if it did. Then we have Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. This game is absolutely fantastic. In my opinion, the best Dragon Ball Z series is the Budokai Tenkaichi game. The 3D fighting was so good, and the 3D Dragon Ball Z games really caught on from here. Then we have one of my favourite series. Fuck's sake. Favourite, but I'm breaking it. And that's the Dynasty Warriors series. You know I love that. We have the second one, of course. Very new for its time. Very different. Was a launch title, an early launch title. And it really caught on because they made a sequel to it. Number 3. This is actually quite a hard game, surprisingly. And then they made a sequel to Dynasty Warriors 3, Extreme Legends, yeah, an expansion pack, almost. And then they made Dynasty Warriors 4. And then they made 2 expansion packs for Dynasty Warriors 4. And that's Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires and Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends. And I've got Dynasty Warriors 5 Extreme Legends, but I know I have Dynasty Warriors 5 somewhere. So... but yeah, I love the Warriors series. I know they're repetitive. I know it's the same thing rehashed over and over again. I know the new one's meant to be complete and shit, but I'll still get it anyway. I love these games, no matter what anyone thinks. And I will do a full overview on all of the Warriors games once I get them all, which will take me a while because some of them are quite rare. We already talked about everybody's tennis, so here's everybody's golf. Another Sony claim to fame series. It's a golf game, but I heard good things about these games. They're meant to be quite fun. Then we have Evergrace, another RPG, Ubisoft RPG, which is kind of weird. Ubisoft don't really make RPGs, and I'm not talking about Destiny. I don't know how good this game is. And then we have Everblue. I don't really know what this game is. I think it's like an underwater simulator. Kind of an interesting one there. Well, Ubisoft, another RPG, and that's the Eternal Ring. This is a first-person, sort of like dungeon crawler style game. Then we have one of my favourite games as a kid, Enter the Matrix. I loved this game as a kid. It was so fun. And I remember playing this and thinking it was the best thing ever. By today's standards, it's playable, it's got redeeming qualities, but it's still got some things that are quite flawed about it. But a lot of nostalgia for this game. England International Football 2004 edition, and it comes with a bonus disc in here. Path to Portugal, if I'm ever going to watch that, I highly doubt it. Another football game, yep, I've got loads of them here. EA Rugby 2005, you know, EA had to make every single sport game. Here's Fight Night 2004. Yep. Boxing game. Some of the boxing games are quite fun. And Cricket 07. Trying to find the, I don't know why, but there wasn't an 06 and there wasn't an 05. I don't know why. But yeah, let's park here. I'm trying to keep this, you know, somewhat fast, but at the same time, you know, not slow. Then we have FIFA 2002, and it does have FIFA 2002 in there. But someone pointed out that this was a PS1 disc. So I have the PS1 version of the game in a PS2 case. And then I have FIFA 2002 again, because I brought another copy, but they put FIFA 2001 in there. So I'm gonna have 3 copies of this game, because when I finally find the one with the actual game in there, I'm gonna have 3 copies of it. And then there's FIFA 2001 with the PlayStation 2 disc, of course. Yeah, FIFA. Fantavision, it's sort of like Boom Boom Rocket. It's kind of like a music slash rhythm game with fireworks. Interesting. And then we got FIFA 2005. Not much to say about these games, but they come out every year. And then we've got 2004. Ronaldinho on the front and Thierry Henry, that I know. I've got another copy of FIFA 2004. Don't know why. And then we've got FIFA 2003. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for football games. I gave them a go every now and then. But to be honest, I don't buy the FIFA games anymore. If someone gave me a FIFA game, more than likely I'd end up trading it in the new ones. Or if I brought a console and it came with the console, like the PS4 for example. Got some Fantastic Four games here. Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer. Movie games. The movies were terrible. The games not as terrible, but yeah. We've got the Family Guy video game. Unfortunately, Family Guy didn't get the same treatment as South Park, because the 2 Family Guy games are average at best. Family board games. Another game shit out by Liquid. Why? I don't know. Fahrenheit, this is a game also known as Indigo Prophecy in the United States, and it's a precursor to Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, these sort of adventure movie-based sort of games. Not movie-based, but it's like watching a movie and then you press the buttons and stuff like that. iToy Connect, it's basically an iToy fitness program. I don't have the iToy, I don't know how well this works. Why? I don't know. Then we have Extermination with a really cool sort of like neon almost cover. I believe this is a third-person shooter slash horror game. I don't know a lot about it. Evil Dead, A Fistful of Boomstick. It's a good sort of zombie beat 'em up action game. I don't really know a lot about it. I've played it before, but I don't remember a lot about it. I've never watched the movies, unfortunately. I do know they are fantastic, however. Then we got Fight Club. Nobody talks about this. The run rule is don't talk about Fight Club, because this game is utter shit. It's terrible. Fightbox, an even worse fighting game. And it's made by BBC. Yeah, the British Broadcasting channel, I guess. Made a fighting game. I don't know if it's based on a TV show or anything, but it's terrible. It seems like a cool idea, making your own fighter and stuff, but it's terrible. Then we got FIFA Street 1 and 2. I put a lot of time into this game, surprisingly. These games are a lot of fun. These are football games that I play. I like sport games that are arcadey and unrealistic, so to say. And this game was so much fun, making your own teams, 5v5, making the tricks and all the the kit and stuff was awesome. Have to maybe play this game again. Then we got FIFA 07, yep, another FIFA game, and FIFA 06. You used to play this one on PSP, didn't you?
Yeah, or FIFA 5.
I think it was 6. Don't have a lot of love for FIFA, just because they don't really have any value after the new one comes out. Fisherman's Challenge, yeah, fishing game made by Konami. Interesting. Fireblade, another sort of helicopter action game. I don't really care so much about flying games that much. Then we have Final Fantasy 12, another fantastic series, a series that unfortunately, what the hell? I don't know if that's the official disc. Is that the game disc? I don't know. No, that's a DVD. So I don't have Final Fantasy 12 because I don't know if that's a disc. That's a DVD. That's weird. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. I don't have Final Fantasy 12. So next time I see a copy of Final Fantasy 12, I need to pick it up because that's not a game in there. Never noticed that. Final Fantasy 10 Part 1 and 2. Like I said, Final Fantasy is a series that I respect, but I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games, unfortunately. But I will give them a go at some point. Fighting Fury, it looks like a really bad fighting game. Just look at that cover. G1 Jockey, yeah, Koei made a lot of these horse racing games as well as Dynasty Warrior games, so yeah. Futurama, a game that actually, in America, this game is quite expensive. In America, this game's going to cost you $80. I bought this game for £3.50, so that's about $5, give or take. So it's amazing how the differences work out. But it's an average game, I hear. Fair Fighters, Vigo's Revenge, seems like a fun game, but unfortunately, at least the multiplayer just wasn't nothing special, pretty bad. Full Spectrum Warrior, a game made by Pandemic, and if you know who Pandemic are, they made the Star Wars Battlefront games, so might be an interesting one there. It's a tactical shooter. 007 From Russia With Love. I used to love playing this game as a kid. Playing it now, it's fun, but it's still quite flawed, unfortunately. But it was a good game for its time, and I respect that. Freedom Fighters, made by Hitman, the creators of Hitman 2. I've heard good things about this game. It's kind of like a tactical shooter slash third-person action shooter. Interesting. Then we got two Ford racing games, Ford Racing 2 and 3. If you want to play racing games with Ford cars, these are for you. So yes. Then we have Flipnik. This is an interesting pinball game. It's like a pinball game, but it sort of has like a campaign to it. It's very interesting. I've heard good things about this game, and I love my pinball. And then we got the Flat Out games, 1 and 2 here. These are sort of like Burnout style action stunt racing games. These are fun games. They are. I don't do too well on them, unfortunately. And we got Frank Herbert's Dune. It's got nothing to do with the old Dune games, which were strategy games. This is a sort of like a adventure game. So yeah. And then we got Lego's Football Mania. It's just called Football Mania, but it is a Lego game. This is an interesting game, actually. It's surprisingly fun. A Lego football game. Who'd have thought it? But it exists. It's fun and it's interesting. Then we got some Formula 1 games here. We got Formula 1 2003, 2004 and 2005. These are the Sony versions of the game. I don't really not care so much about Formula 1, but I used to love racing games as a kid, so these would have been definitely in my top playing games. Then we got Forgotten Realms Demon Stone. For so long I've wondered what sort of game this was, but it's a hack and slash game, and it's similar to the Lord of the Rings game. So if you played the Lord of the Rings game on PS2, you probably would enjoy this, and it's based in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. I'm definitely going to have to do some board games and get some of these like more experienced board games like Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm interested in learning how to play them. So if anyone wants to hit me up about those sort of things, let me know. Then we've got God of War, a fantastic game series, and of course you've got God of War 4 coming out soon, and a lot of people are looking forward to that one. I'll admit I've only played the God of War Chains of Olympus game on PSP, and I enjoyed it. So I'm definitely going to have to give these ones a go because they're great games. Goblin Commander Unleash the Horde. Looks like a fun sort of strategy game. Could be quite fun actually. It looks kind of cool. Then we got Ghost Recon Jungle Storm. I don't know if this was the first Ghost Recon game on console. I don't know, but the Ghost Recon games are very good strategy, tactical first-person, third-person shooters. And then we got Ghost Hunter. This is an interesting game. If you want a Ghostbusters game without being a Ghostbusters game, this is almost that. It's a good game, I hear. Ghost Rider, say what you want about the movie, but the game I've heard, the game's meant to be alright, I suppose. Ghostmaster, the Gravenville Chronicles. I believe this game is almost a spiritual successor to Poltergeist on the Sega Genesis. So if you're a fan of Poltergeist, this game is a very similar game. Then we have Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. This is an updated version of the Gauntlet games, and I've played a little bit of this, and it's a really good game. If you like Gauntlet, it's a 3D version of that. Then we have Garfield, just Garfield. Yeah, it's a Garfield game. What do you expect? I don't know a lot about it, but I know it took me a while to find that game on trying to not process it. What's the word? What's the word? I fucking can't remember the word. I've got it in my head. I'll remember it soon. That's gonna piss me off now. What's the word when you want to put something down in a list? I don't know. Then we got Genji. It's got nothing to do with the Overwatch character, at least not to my knowledge. I believe this is sort of like a almost a Ninja Gaiden Devil May Cry game. I need healing. Then we got Get on the Mic. It's a hip hop themed karaoke game. Yeah. Then we've got the Ultimate Collection. The 5 Grand Theft Auto games. Of course, we've got Grand Theft Auto 3. I remember coming home and seeing my brother play this and thinking, oh my god, this is awesome. One of the coolest things I ever saw. Then we got Vice City, an even better game than called Grand Theft Auto 3, sorry. I really, really enjoyed this game. But in my opinion, the best one was San Andreas. Many, many hours put into this game. Many cheat codes. Many open world. And this game had co-op. Well, not co-op. You would find an area where you could do Rampage missions 2-player. Or you could do Free Roam 2-player. And I remember doing this a lot with my mate. And I remember we had police on us at one point. And we were on the middle of a highway. And I said to him, come on, let's get out of here. And he pressed the button which makes your two characters kiss and hug. I don't know why that was a thing. I said, why the fuck did you kiss me for? We're getting shot up by like 6-star police. And I jumped off the fucking highway. And he followed me. And of course, I had the armor and health cheat. He didn't, so he died.
I need you to go upstairs for me.
And then we've got the 2 stories expansion pack. Well, I say expansion pack. These were originally on the PSP, Vice City and Liberty City Stories. These were on the PSP, and then they did bring them out on the PS2. These are good games, but they're not as remembered as the trilogy, so to say. These 3 were the more remembered ones, so to say. And yeah, one more stack after this. But yeah, here's God of War 2. I've heard even good things about this game. What do I need to say about this game other than a sequel that was very welcome? But I can't say much about it because I haven't played it. Then we have Golden Age of Racing. Who made this game? I don't know. Oh, it's Mida's title. It's a racing game based on the golden age of racing. So if that's your thing, there's a game for you. GoldenEye Road Agent. It's got nothing to do with the GoldenEye game on the N64. I remember playing this game and thinking it was pretty decent, and then when I replayed it, the graphics were just terrible. For the cutscenes, the graphics were just pixelated as fuck. I don't know if there's a problem with my disc, but I don't know why, but it put me off. Godzilla! Save the Earth. These Godzilla games are really good sort of fighting 3D beat 'em up fighting games. If you like Godzilla movies and you want a fighting game with them, these ones are for you. And then we have Gottlieb Pinball Classics. It's a pinball game with lots of pinball tables, or the Gottlieb pinball tables. I love my pinball. And then we've got the Gran Turismo games on PS2. We've got Gran Turismo 2002 Tokyo Geneva, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, and Gran Turismo 4, in my opinion, the best racing game on the PS2. In my opinion, the best Gran Turismo game of all time. Many hours put into this game. The graphics were amazing for the time.
What's it with Daddy?
And there was almost 1,000 cars. It just had so much. It had so much to it. But yeah, but it did have you needed a lot of memory card space, because it was like 1,000 like was it 1,000 kilobytes? Yeah, it was like 1,500 kilobytes, which seemed like nothing at the time by today's standards, but back in the day it was a lot. Last stack here, we got Grand Tour Racing 400. Careful we don't knock that. Another racing game based in like the Grand Tour Racing. I don't know much about these games. It's too Mr. Bean. What? I don't know. Then we got GT Racers. This looks like a more arcadey version of a racing game. G-Surfers featuring Trackman. I don't know who Trackman is. But it's another sort of futuristic racing game, sort of like Wipeout. Then we got Groove Rider Slot Car Racing. I loved slot cars, or Scale Electrics as they were called here, but there's a racing game based on that. And then we've got some Guitar Hero games here. We've got Guitar Hero 1, the original, 2, and Rocks the 80s. I love Guitar Hero games. Unfortunately, a lot of these Guitar Hero games you do need the guitar for. Some of them, I know 1, 2 and 3 and Aerosmith are the only 4 that I know that you don't need a guitar to play on. Then we've got Guilty Gear X2 Reload, a fighting game. The Guilty Gear games, I've heard great things about these games. These are good anime 2D fighting games. I know Reggie from the Metal Jesus channel loves these games, so I'm gonna have to give them a try one day. But yeah. Then we got one of the best games to make one of the best series of all time, Half-Life, the original. Half-Life 2 did not. Then we've got Happy Trail Hamster Ball, another Phoenix title. It looks like Super Monkey Ball, but an even worse version. Then we got Gun. This used to be the Red Dead Redemption game before Red Dead Redemption existed. I loved this game as a kid. Thought it was one of the coolest things ever, but I played it as an adult and it's flawed. Gumball 3000, yep, you know, based on the Gumball 3000 rally they do in America. You know, you got your half-naked, well, sexy chick on the front, you know, to boost sales. And then we've got, before I show off the last one, we've got some Harry Potter games. Prisoner of Azkaban. An interesting thing about this game, it has some iToy mini games on here, and that's weird because not a lot of games on PlayStation 2 utilised games that had iToy mini modes on it. Normally the iToy was literally you brought an iToy game and that was it. Not many normal games it had, you know, compatibility. Quidditch World Cup, I don't know how to play Quidditch. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter. I've never watched the movies. And Goblet of Fire, I used to play this one a lot with my friend. I mean, you always used to kill Hermione. I don't know why we were so horrible to her, but yeah, this was, in my opinion, was probably the best Harry Potter game that I've ever played. And finally, we've got Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life Special Edition. Interesting to see Harvest Moon on PS2, because mostly Harvest Moon was a Nintendo game, and these games are awesome, like farming almost game. Well, they are farming RPG farming games. These are really, really enjoyable games. Take a while to get into, but once you get into them, you can't put them down. And this is the only Harvest Moon game that I have. But yeah, I don't know why it's the special edition.
Okay, your turn.
But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. But I've got a lot of games to go through. I've got 3 more shelves to go through, so there'll be 3 more parts. Hello. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yeah. But yeah, the PS2 collection is definitely my biggest collection, and I love, hello, I love, one of the reasons why I've done this video is because it's not just for the benefit of those who are new to the channel, but also for my benefit, because when I want to, you know, profile the games, that's the word I was looking for, profile my games, I can just watch these videos and sort of, you know, go, oh yeah, because often when I'm shopping and I see some games, PS2 games, I think to myself, do I have this game already? Do I not have it? It's been a long time since I've gone through my PS2 collection anyway, so my memory does need refreshing, all so to say, so I love going through my collections every now and then, but I'll probably do the rest of these collections, 3 more parts. I'll probably do another part tomorrow, because you're going to your nanny's, yes you are. So I'll probably do the next part tomorrow, and then I'll try and get the other 2 parts done in the week. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and of course feel free to comment below. Let me know, actually one thing I do want to ask is, let me know if there's any good games on the Xbox One worth downloading under £25. I've got £26 credit, so anything that's good, let me know. I am waiting for the next sale to come on, so yeah. And of course feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family. And of course, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye. Alright then.